Hey guys, welcome back to Life Up Education TV. I'm your host Natsune. Today, we're going to talk about technology and innovation. So I have a few things that we can talk about relating to technology and innovation here. So we're going to explore them. Okay, the first thing, let's talk about innovation. What is innovation? Innovation is a process by which a domain, a product or service is renewed and brought up to date by applying new processes, including new technologies or establishing successful ideas to create new value. Right, so I wanted to add a little bit to it. So maybe some of you already know, but I worked in like very innovative industry. I was working in like a tech startup industry. So particularly tech, right? And people who hang out in this kind of industry, they're very interested in innovation. They're very interested in like future and technology. So I once heard this person describing what innovation is, and he said, innovation is taking existing ideas, two or more ideas, and combining into one idea that is completely new concept and that makes things better, right? And I just thought it was very interesting way to look at what innovation is, because the baseline is all it takes for you to see is not necessarily inventing something out of scratch, but even the act of inventing includes taking old idea, taking existing ideas, and then turning them into a new idea. Okay, the next one. The number one benefit of information technology is that it empowers people to do what they want to do. It lets people be creative. It lets people be productive. It lets people learn things they didn't think they could learn before. And so in a sense, it is all about potential. So the reason I'm so excited about technology is that, particularly like if we take Steve Jobs as example, like technology made it so possible that like his impact doubled because of technology, because people know about him, right? And the interesting thing about technology is that, like, for example, I believe in like free competition. Things happen or things happen in economy when it makes sense to happen, right? So what does that mean? That means that if it wasn't for Steve Jobs, if it wasn't for Bill Gates, if it wasn't for someone, I'm pretty sure that there would have been someone else as an alternative who came up with kind of similar concept as a product, kind of similar concept as a business. So who would took their places, because the human evolution, like we're only products of the current society. So the kind of conclusion we come up with, considering the same amount of like geniusness, the IQ, we can just only go so far. Like we could like loop around the same kind of ideas, and if you are in a community, if you are in an industry, you would hear about different ideas, and then you would know more about different entrepreneurs working on different things, and that just ultimately also give other people idea to work on something, right? So my thing is like, I think if it wasn't for someone else, someone already famous today, as like sort of legend, I'm pretty sure that there has always been someone else alternative who probably came up with the same kind of product, same kind of idea, who also become more famous than the ones that are famous today. And that's why technology is so interesting, because you can just like magnify your impact. I guess first of all, if you're lucky and if you can understand how to use technology as a tool of communication, like that's when you can like really magnify your impact. Okay, so the next one. If you double the number of experiments you do per year, you're going to double your inventiveness. Jeff Bezos. So coming from the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. If you experiment more throughout the year, your company's inventiveness increases. Jeff Bezos was the one who also said innovation and failure is inseparable. And yeah, it makes sense. Like, for example, if you look at Warren Buffett, right? Like, someone told me before that Warren Buffett doesn't make sure he get every single decision he makes correct, but rather his indication is if he can make 3 good decisions throughout the year out of all the failures, that, like, or the, I guess for that matter, like, if he can make sure he makes 3 good investment decisions that can outwork all the bad ones that he makes, that's a successful year. Someone once told me he look at it like that, and it makes sense. Like, without failing, it's impossible to create innovation, because innovation is disrupting, right? Like, innovation is trying new things and put them in a test, and then see if they work, and then if they actually do work, like then outcome is your business is better. Then the outcome is your business is more sufficient, business is more efficient. So yeah, it makes sense. And I think the bottom line is, like, you as a manager, what you need to do is to make sure you just make more good decisions than the bad ones that you make. Okay, the next one. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. Mark Zuckerberg. As Elon Musk says, if things are not failing, you're not innovating. Of course, there's a chance that you might fail at something you do for very first time. Jeff Bezos also says the failure and innovation are inseparable. For some reason, I can't pronounce this word. Right, so that is so correct. Like, the only reason, not the only reason, the only ensured way for you to fail is not trying, because you don't even know what it's like. Like, you don't even know what would happen if you did try. So to minimize the risk, it really is that, not minimize even, but I guess, a lot of people get it wrong because they choose not taking risk, so that they don't have to fail, right? But ultimately, that's a failure, but in a more heavy and more harmful long-term failure rather than like a short instant failure. Because yeah, like I said, like, of course you might have a chance to fail, like in an instant right now in an event, but in life, at least you wouldn't have regret. So that's what I want to say. But that being said, this was the end of the video. So let me know what you thought, and I will see you guys in the next video.